Welcome you all for Topper Talk Series 12, a special address on Civil Services Day with Mr. S. Koventhan, IFS Officer, Regional Passport Officer. Now I request our beloved Principal, Dr. Devasundari Ma'am, to welcome the gathering. Please, Ma'am.
Thank you, Ramya. Good evening to all. It's a pleasure to welcome you all this evening for the 12th session on Topper's Talk by Mr. S. Koventhan, IFS, Regional Passport Officer, Chennai. And this day, especially being a very special day for all the civil servants and the civil service aspirants, it's a great honor to host this session this evening. It was on this day that the first Home Minister of Independent India, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, addressed the first batch of civil servants and referred to them as the steel frame of India. And this Topper's Talk series has been one of the flagship program by us KCG Civil Services Club and Academy, which creates opportunities for both the KCG aspirants and also all the external participants to interact with many civil service officers. We have hosted many distinguished guests in the previous sessions. In fact, we started with Mr. Bhakya Gautam, our own alumnus, who is with the Central Armed Police Force now. And then we had Ms. Ammu J. IRS, Prem Kumar, Ms. Aarti IDAS, Mr. Vijay Shankar IPS, Truthanjay Narayanan IAS, and we had Raja from Mr. Raja from Indian Forest Service, and Mr. Rajneesh from IFS, Ashwati GG IPS, and the current officers, Dr. Radhakrishnan IAS, Principal Secretary to Government. We hosted that session physically on our campus, and we also had Dr. Vijay Karthikeyan IAS, Secretary, Human Rights Commission. And last session was Mr. Jagadishwaran, our alumnus, who is the Deputy Collector, Kadalur District. Having hosted all of them, today is very important for us because it marks the first anniversary of our series 2 today. At this juncture, I would like to appreciate and congratulate Ms. Ramya, Assistant Professor, Electronics and Communication Engineering Department, and the students of the club for their sincere efforts in doing this successfully for the last 1 year. And today, being very special, both the Civil Services Day and our first anniversary, we have with us a very special guest, Mr. Koventhan, IFS Regional Passport Officer, Chennai. Especially being an engineer by profession from College of Engineering, Guindy, Anna University, I think we are very fortunate to have you, especially today, to motivate our own engineering students to pursue their dream of a civil service career. It was also very interesting, sir, to know about the new initiatives like chat with your RPO, all that you have initiated in your service. A heartfelt thanks for making it today to address us. Thank you and welcome again. I'm sure today's session is going to enlighten all the aspirants who have joined today from our campus and also other external participants from different states who are looking to clear the exam. Welcoming all of you for this virtual session. Thank you so much. Thanks again, sir, for accepting our invite and being with us this evening. Over to you, Ramya.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I feel immense pleasure to welcome our guest, Shri S. Koventhan, born in Chennai. His father, Shri Sengutuvan, is a retired railway officer, and he is currently practicing advocate in Madras High Court. His mother, Srimati Muttamil Arasi, is a homemaker. He did his schooling in Alagappa Schools, Chennai. He is an engineering graduate from prestigious College of Engineering, Guindy, Anna University, Chennai. Shri Koventhan is married to Srimati Vibhuti. Shri Koventhan cleared UPSC Civil Services Exam 2008 and joined the Indian Foreign Service in 2009. During his diplomatic career, he served in the Energy Security Division of Ministry of External Affairs. He was posted to Embassy of India in Portugal as third secretary in 2011, where he did his compulsory foreign language training in the University of Lisbon. In addition to his language training in the university, he also looked after economic and commercial work at Embassy of India in Portugal. He successfully completed the diploma course in Portuguese language. Upon the completion of his tenure in Embassy of India in Portugal, he was transferred to Brazil and assumed the charge of second secretary in the Embassy of India in Brazil in December 2012. During his tenure in Brasilia, he handled administrative, commercial, consular, project political reports, and protocol duties for visiting delegation. The high point of tenure in Brasilia was successful handling of the visit of Honorable Prime Minister of India to Brazil for the 6th BRICS Summit in July 2014. He was in charge of Brasilia portion of the visit. In January 2016, he joined the Embassy of India in Bhutan. As a first secretary, he handled the economic and commercial work of the embassy, which includes all the GOI developmental assistance to Bhutan, hydropower projects, road projects undertaken by Dantec, trade promotion activities, attending to the grievances of Indian businessmen, and with subject matters related to 7 different ministries. In March 2019, he joined the Embassy of India, Brasilia, as the Deputy Chief of Mission, Deputy Ambassador. From 6th November 2019 to 13th September 2020, he was in charge, officiating head of mission. For the second time in his career, he successfully handled the visit of Honorable Prime Minister to Brazil for the 11th BRICS Summit in November 2019. In January 2020, during the state visit of President of Brazil to India, Sri S. Koventhan played an important role in the signing of 15 MOU agreements encompassing different areas of cooperation between India and Brazil. During the COVID-19 pandemic times, he reached out to the Indian nationals in Brazil and facilitated all possible assistance, including their extension of stay in Brazil. He successfully handled the largest evacuation exercise in Latin American, over 800 strands Indian nations from 21 different states of India were safely evacuated from Brazil during May to June 2020. After his tenure in Brazil, he assumed the charge of Regional Passport Officer of Chennai on July 2021. After his joining, he introduced a weekly interaction program with public called Chat with Your RPO, where passport applicants can directly call RPO and get solutions for their passport-related issues. This program is scheduled every Tuesday between 12 to 13 hours. Sri S. Koventhan is a director-level officer in the Government of India. Sir knows 4 languages: Hindi, Tamil, Hindi, and Portuguese. His interests include traveling, reading, and playing cricket and tennis. So I'm just making his profile short. Sorry for that, sir. Thank you once again for joining with us. Welcome you to the portals of our institute. Thank you, sir. Over to you now.
Good evening, everyone. I hope I'm audible to everyone. But I'm not able to see any one of you except Ms. Ramya. So would I request all the participants to switch on their videos so that I feel I'm addressing someone. Otherwise, it's blank screen which is in front of me. So I request all the participants to just switch on their videos, because most of the time when we join such events, we join and then we leave. So we don't know whether you are there or not. So I want to see each one of you before I start my proceedings. Respected Madam Devasundari, Principal of KCG, heads of departments of various departments of the college, faculty members, students, and civil service aspirants. So it's indeed a great honor and pleasure for me to be here amongst all of you today on this wonderful occasion of the Civil Services Day. So as Madam rightly pointed out, that this was the day, 1947, when the first batch of probationers were addressed by Honorable Home Minister of India, then Home Minister of India, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. So to commemorate that occasion, every year, April 21st is being celebrated as the Civil Services Day. So I could see a variety of names on the screen, when I whole of India, I could see here, we have Dimple, we have Abhishek, we have Kanagadurga, we have Teju, we have Akim. So it is a diversified, lot of people who are going to attend this event. So I'm very happy to be here. I was told that, this is going to be more for the civil service aspirants who are going to take this examination soon. So I wish you all the best. First of all, at the outset, before I commence my speech, I wish you all the best. You first thing, you have to take a right decision about your career. So there are 2 or 3 points in our life. We have the choice, and also we have the what you call the responsibility to choose what we want to do. So one time is when we are 10th standard, 10th class, when you're there, then you have to choose the group, what you call MPCC, MPCB. You want to become a doctor or an engineer or a commerce graduate or a CA. So that point is very crucial in everyone's life. So you take the decision, yes, this is the path I want to take. So now you have crossed that level, and then then comes the 12th standard, where you have to choose. Definitely you are into the stream, you're going to become an engineer, so you take the group and then you join. So now you are in that stage, that you have decided about your professional education, that is going to be in engineering. And next course is that the job. So whether you want to be an engineer by profession, or you want to join the civil services, or for that reason any other business sector. So this is again a crucial time for all of you to to take the decision. So to be frank, those who are here and taken the decision to join civil services, I would say that you have taken the right decision, because I have taken this decision about 14 years ago, 14, 15 years ago, when I decided to join the civil services after my engineering graduation. So in that regard, you have taken a good decision. Basically, this decision is very important, because what happens is that especially when you are in engineering college, there are a lot of opportunities that come to you. When it comes to on the campus placement, you get job, and you may be an electrical engineer or IT engineer or a mechanical engineer, and there are like core department jobs which comes to you. So you have to choose between them. Then you have to take a call whether you want to join that industry, or you want to stay back and prepare for civil services, or you want to join the industry and then prepare simultaneously for civil service job. So these kind of dilemmas do come. It came to me also, and I suppose it would have come to all of you. First, I would address that point. Who should join civil services? In my limited experience and perspective of being a civil servant for more than 13 years. So you are, who should become a civil? Who can, become? If that question is posed to me, I would say one who is keen to do, one who is very keen to serve the nation. One who is keen to be a part of the policy making. And one who is keen to participate in the developmental process of the nation. One who is very keen to serve the poor and downtrodden. One is very keen to bring smile in the face of people. One who is there to wipe out the tears of the people. So these are some of the things that come to my mind. Once if this question is asked to me, why you want to join civil services? So this is there in your mind. Yes, you are on the right track, and you are on the right job. Once you get it. So this definitely is going to be a great experience for you if this is the agenda. So on the other hand, if you think that I want to earn more money, I want to amass wealth, I want to settle for the entire next few generations, I want to amaze. Then don't please join civil services. I would not recommend you to join civil services. So this is not a job for them. I hope I'm audible to all of you. Just raise your hand so that I'm sure, because yeah. Okay. So Adarsh Pratap, you are able to hear me? Am I audible to Adarsh Pratap Singh? Just raise your hand. Yeah. Okay.
Sir, actually, sorry to interrupt. We have hard muted all of them, so they can only either chat or they can raise their hands.
Yeah. That's fine. Yeah, raise your hand. Okay, I could see them raising their hand. That's fine. So that's what I'm saying. So these are some of the things that came to my mind. So why I should leave an engineering job? Because all of you must be knowing. I studied engineering, right? Ms. Ramya pointed out, I did my engineering in College of Engineering, Gindi. Then, so I also got a campus placement. So it was a very difficult time for me to choose between an engineering job and a job in the industry or in civil service. So you have to be very clear about it. So don't ever have this dilemma of you join here or go there. Make a clear-cut distinction depending on whatever is your priority. Maybe there may be a compelling reason for you to have a job and to carry forward your life, and then you prepare for something. That's fine, but make your priorities very clear. You join a job, but still you would continue with a goal. So what I mean I would say is that you have to believe in yourself. Until you believe in yourself, you cannot believe in God. Don't believe in God and say that no, God will help me to clear civil services. No, you have to believe in yourself. That's a fundamental rule of once you decide to join civil services. So then I have talked about who should join civil. So if you are in that league, that you are the people which that you are interested, very keen to serve the nation in the policy making, the policy execution, and to serve the public, bring smile in the smile and happiness in the face of poor people. And yes, you are in the right place. And then next question comes to you, how to prepare for this examination, and what and all you should do to crack this examination. See, I'll give you a simple story. First of all, when you decide to go for this examination, I'll tell this story, then you will yourself understand what I mean. There are a bunch of frogs in a deep well, living in a deep well, and they used to try every time to jump out of the well. But one fine day there was a heavy rain going on, and that time these frogs were also finding it difficult to stay inside the well, so they were all trying to climb up. So one particular frog, was trying again and again, but it was not able to reach the height actually, but it was slightly moving. So all other frogs, were telling that frog which is trying to jump, see, this is a very difficult situation, and water level is slowly, getting increased because of the rainfall, and you are not going to go up. So you are going to stay, you are going to collapse, you are going to fall from a different height, and then you will going to die. So other frogs stayed at the place where they could find a shelter rather than climbing up the well to reach the top of the well. But this frog consistently was trying again. At one point of time, it succeeded in reaching the height. So what could be the story of the success of this particular frog? If anyone can answer, or I would say, because since we are all in your mute mode, I'd say that frog was a deaf one, actually deaf frog. So it cannot hear. So you have to be deaf when it comes to people criticizing you, because the first and fundamental thing which comes to any civil service aspirant is criticism. People will say, oh, you are an average student, you didn't do well in engineering, you got arrears in engineering. Civil service, you will not be able to civil service. There will be hundreds of such voices you will be hearing around, when you start preparing for this examination. But first thing, you should become a deaf guy to those people, and tell them that you don't hear them. So that's what is more important actually. Anything that tries to make you physically, intellectually, and spiritually weak, and you have to reject it as as it is called as a poison for you, and then you have to reject it. This is what Swami Vivekananda says. So nothing should demoralize you. So don't allow any external factor to demoralize you when you are pursuing your goal to become a civil servant. So this is my advice to all of you when you start preparing for the examination. Of course, there are a lot of coaching institutes now, and of course your college itself, they're doing a noble job of even guiding the people, the students, by having an in-house facility of having a civil service coaching institute. So there will be, I'm sure there will be a lot of good faculty members there, and who will be guiding you. I'm not getting into the details of the syllabus of the examination, or what kind of questions is going to be asked. That those things will be definitely dealt by the people who are actually teaching you. What I would say, from my experience, is that you are the master of your destiny. So you have to decide that yes, I am going to prepare for this examination. I am confident that I'll be able to clear this examination. So you are all be knowing about Ghazini. I'm not talking about Amir Khan or Surya. I'm talking about Mahmud of Ghazini. Who invaded India. So on multiple times, he was not able to invade India. So at one particular point of time, he was able to conquer India. That was the first Muslim invasion of India. So that's what I'm saying. It's not that you have to consistently keep trying, but unfortunately you don't have so much attempts, or like Rajini had. So you have a limited number of attempts to take this examination. So I would suggest each one of you should take the opportunity at the very beginning. You should presume that you have only one attempt to clear the examination, and orient yourself and the preparation strategy according to that. So don't expect that I will clear prelims in this attempt and then mains examination next attempt, because this examination. The one big thing about this examination is that it will take a lot of your time, precious time, your age, that the age, actually when you are expected to take a job. So, so be careful about it and don't expect that, you will have a lot of time, to clear this examination. So every attempt is like, a do or die situation for you. So take it very seriously. If you take this exam seriously, the exam will also take you seriously, and you will be also sitting like me sometime and interacting with students later. So, but don't take it lightly, that your luck, there's nothing called luck without hard work. So you have to do hard work, only then you will succeed. When people ask, this question come to you, how many hours you should study, how many days you should. So nothing like rule, rule that you should. If you study for 18 hours, you will become civil servant. So then, in that case, more than 500,000 people study for more than 18 hours. So do they all make it to the civil services? No. So out of the 500,000 people, that 5 lakh people who are 6 lakh, whatever is the number now, I don't know. About 10 to 12,000 people are called for the second round, which is the mains examination. So look at the percentage of people, how many of them are called, not even 1%. And then look at the number of people called for interview. Out of the 12,000 who take the mains examination, about 3,000 people are called for the interview, 2,000 to 3,000 people are called for the interview. And then about 500, 600 people make it to the final list. And in that 500, those who get good rank, they get the services like administrative service or police service, foreign service, revenue service, etc., etc. So it's a very, very tough competition. It's not that Sadasivam Subrahmanya is the competitor for Adarsh Pratap Singh. No, their competitors are sitting everywhere across India. They're sitting in Guwahati. So they are sitting in Jaipur. They are sitting in what you call Ludhiana. So you don't think that, so in civil services, we all think that, the person reading next to me is my, biggest competitor. No, he's not your competitor. So in the institutes and all, they conduct examination. So you secure the topmost mark, you feel proud. Yes, I have become an IS officer. No, you're not. You're not. So don't think that, your competitors are sitting next to each other. So they are sitting in different places. But one thing I tell you from my experience, if you are very confident, and then you do the real hard work. See, hard work doesn't mean that you become master of the subject, of your options which you're going to choose. That's not the case. Because here you're not expected to make a PhD or a thesis on the public administration or geography, because those are my options. That time we had to take 2 optionals. Here, what is required is to study public administration from the UPSC point of view. So that's more important. So what happens is that when you get into a subject of history, I have become a master of history. I can talk about ancient India, modern India, and then so those kind of things, you should, basically, I would say, not you should avoid actually, because if you avoid that strategy, that becoming master of a subject, then you are into the field, because this is an examination. This is a competitive examination. You have to thoroughly study the syllabus. What is expected from you? What UPSC expects from you? And what is expected in the examination? That 3 hours of time which is given to you, or 2 hours of time, whatever is given to you, what is they're not going to test how much in-depth knowledge you are going to have in history. All they require is to know how you present an answer of about 200 words or 500 words of what you read, how you present. So that's it. So I think I have some questions also. I'll take those questions, once I finish my thing, then it will be easy for me. So, and then you have to, prepare for the examination in the environment in which going to take the examination. So you have to set an examination hall, set the clock before you, start practicing the answers. Once you prepare, you should have a strategy for you. And most importantly, you read certain thing, you will forget it. The more you read, the more you forget. You will be studying 10 different things for general studies, that CSAT, and for your general knowledge paper. You can't, recollect biology, history, geography. There are different mathematics, which is very difficult for me. So all those things are there in the paper. So you have to have a consistent plan for revision of what you study. So that will help you to, recollect whatever you do. So to be frank with you, I used to paste a lot of things, in my place of preparation. That, because I keep looking at visualization helps you to, register things better in your mind. So I keep looking at them every day, So about this is first battle of Panipat, 1526, second battle of Panipat, 1555, and then third battle of Panipat. So who is or this person versus this person. So, and the questions are not going to be as simple as I'm telling you. They're saying that, they will give a statement and say that which of the statements are true and which of the statements are false. So you have to have an analytical ability. I firmly believe that engineers have good analytical ability, because in all your classes, like let's go to surveying, you will have a theodolite, and you have to place the theodolite and then, and take a survey. So most of the time you don't get the right angles but we all manage the graph in such a way that we get the correct reading and we get it cleared. So engineers know how to solve the problem. That's all is required in civil services. You are here to solve the problem. You can't take more time to understand, because the survey period is for 2 hours, and after that, professor will ask you to submit the graph. So you'll say yes, the angles are fine. You will link 3-4 points, and then you will make a graph and you'll get it clear. So that's what is required. So what I'm saying is that you should know what is expected out of you from this examination. So you're not going to show your intellectual capability in a particular topic or subject by reading through so much on the subject. So here, what is required is the orientation. The 3 hours of time, whatever you have prepared in the whole 1 year, you have to produce it in the examination paper. And prelims, it's like multiple choice question. And mains examination is like a written examination where you have to write. So when you prepare for the examination, you have a comprehensive strategy which includes prelims, mains, and the interview. It's not that now I will prepare for prelims, then I will go for mains, and then I'll for interview. No, interview is what? It's a personality test. Within, like, after the declaration of mains examination, you will have 15 days to appear before the interview board. Do you think that 15 days is enough for you to change your personality? No. Personality is an ongoing process. How you develop yourself, how you carry yourself, what kind of impression you want to give to the interview board, and be honest. That's very very important. If you don't know, you don't know the answer. There's nothing wrong, but you cannot say that I don't know who is the father of our nation, which you are expected to know. So be strong on your fundamentals. That's very important. Be strong on the engineering thing. Be strong on the home state where you come from. These are the questions. You can't say that which is the Manchester of the Tamil Nadu. You should be able to know. So certain questions about the state or your city or your place of birth or your your engineering or your hobbies, those things you are expected to know. You cannot say no. But if you don't know an answer, if it's complex, because all of us don't know everything, and you are also expected to say no just to ensure that the board is satisfied that you are honest, that you don't know the answer. They also know that you may not know the answer, but you pretend to know the answer, then you are out of the board. So that's what I'm saying. Develop these traits actually. These are all inbuilt traits, and it should come over a period of time. You cannot develop after you clear the mains examination. How you dress up, how you carry yourself, how you conduct yourself. So all those things matter. So it's like a comprehensive strategy for all the three portions of the examination. So that's what I want to tell you all. So everything is easy when you are busy. Everything is difficult when you are lazy. So don't be lazy. So nothing is easy when you are lazy. So that's what I'm saying. So there is no question of being lazy. One thing I tell you, civil service preparation and civil service job are parallel, because for preparation also you'll have to prepare yourself for like whatever hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, 15 hours, depending on yourself. And when you come to the work also, you'll have to work like that. So don't think that when you come join civil services you can lay back and relax. No, it's not like that. The preparation of the examination is in a way is a training for you to become a civil servant. So when you become a district magistrate, or when you become a police commissioner, or you become an ambassador, you will have to handle a variety of subjects, and you are expected to deliver on each of the subjects what is given to you. Right now, from for us as being a diplomat, technology, tourism, these technology, tourism, and trade, triple T. This is very important for us because this is the mandate given to all the diplomats who are posted abroad. So things are changing, and you are expected to deliver. And don't think that by becoming a civil servant you can lay back and relax. No, you're not going to be allowed to do that. So you work hard to prepare for civil service, and then also you join civil services. You have to work. So these are some of the things I thought I'll share about the preparation. But don't worry about somebody. If your neighbor is studying for 20 hours and you are not able to study, it doesn't mean that he's going to crack the examination. So how effectively you utilize your time, that's more important. And how effectively you practice the questions, what you just go through 10 years question paper. You may not get the questions being repeated in UPSC, but the pattern in which the questions are asked definitely going to be the same. You yourself will realize that. When I did my preparation, I would have done at least 4 to 5 tests of public administration. At that time we had one optional in the preliminary also. So at least I used to practice 3 tests every day, 1 month before the examination. So then I realized that this is the time, and initially when I took the examination, I was able to attend to certain. Now there is that time when I took the examination, unfortunately first time the negative marking was introduced. Previously that was not the case. So even if there is an element of luck which was there till the batch before me, that was not given to me. So I have to be very careful. If I attempt all the questions, randomly, then I will lose mark, because even that will take away the mark of the correct question which I'm going to answer, correct answer which I'm going to give. So be careful, because there is negative marking. So you can't afford to lose marks by by attempting questions which are not which you don't know, for which you don't know the answer. So in that way, the preparation has to be like, you have to prepare, like you sit and see that where you stand, and slowly you start improvising. Then you will analyze which are the areas where you need to focus more, and which are the areas which you are comfortable. Then you slowly build up. An empire is not built on a day. It takes time to build. First of all, you should have the orientation that this is the way I am going to prepare for this examination. Then you chalk out your strength, your weakness. That SWOT analysis, what you call strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat. You analyze your strength. So this is your area of strength. So where I can, so there are people who are very good at analytical skills, aptitude related questions. I'm not good at that. So I thought that this area, if I spend my time in the 2 hours duration, if I attempt a question from this aptitude thing, and trying to solve the problems which are going to burst, I'll be ending up not even answering, half of the paper. So I just ignored it. So this is not my cup of tea. During my time, I don't know about the current paper, how it's going to be, how much you can skip, what will be the cutoff. That time I focused on area of my strength. If I get time, after completing the areas of my strength, then I will go back and try to attempt some of these questions. That was my way of approach when I prepared for civil. I believe these things would have been told to you before also by many of the civil service officers who are interacted with you. So you analyze your strength. Actually, your focus is on history, geography, science, technology, and nowadays anything under sun can be asked in your prelims question. So you have to read thoroughly and daily newspaper. Either you take Times of India or you take Hindu and try to read, just not a news item that suppose two countries are signing some agreements, just say okay, two countries are signing, not that. What are the elements of the agreement? Go in detail about it. Go to Google, search about it. What are each component of the agreement speaks about, and what are the areas of cooperation being identified in the agreement, and then which are the other countries in which we have such a. So you have to go and analyze it. Not that reading a newspaper like it's like a news item. You see the news item, you think that when you read the question paper, how this news item can become a question for the UPSC. In that angle, you should start thinking how it can become a question. Then what kind of question it can be. These are the suppose let us give it a two countries are signing some agreement. There can be 4 or 5 elements of that agreement. Let's say it's a space cooperation agreement. If you are not aware of what does that agreement mean, they'll give 4 statements about the agreement. Which of the statement is false? So if we just read the news that yes, 2 countries have signed agreements and not going into the detail of what are the agreements speaking about, then you'll not be able to attend this question. So off knowledge is as good as no knowledge. So basically, you have to be thorough in what you do. That's more important. And this all some of the things I thought I'll tell you. Believe in yourself. The world is yours. So you have to believe yourself. Then only you'll be able to sail through this process. Never ever give up. Actually, you keep trying. Don't that's why I told you. So don't take others criticism and all when you prepare for the examination. You build the confidence in yourself. Yes, I can do it. If I can do it, you can also do it. I will put it in this way. So I was not a very academically very brilliant student and having a CGPA, what you call CGPA that time. I don't know, the same kind of thing, or 9 and 9 plus A grade, S grade. No, I was a student who was to clear the. If I don't get an arrear, I'll be happy. I will just go and see whether I am getting an arrear or not. That is mathematics. So don't worry about you are not good at academics. You will become in my view, you will be a better civil servant. If you are I mean, it's a joke actually. You can take it as a joke. You will be a better civil servant if you are an average student also. Not that you should be academically extraordinarily brilliant. This is the fear people have that I got only 7, 8. Will I become a? So it's not that engineering is entirely a different ball game. It is how you see the issues and how you try to resolve the issues with a different dimension perspective. That's what is all about. So I wish all of you great success in this thing. And I think what's the time now? Let me see. It's 7. So if you want to know anything specific about foreign service or my experience in foreign service, I'll be happy to take questions on that. I think there are some questions which are come. So I'll just finish my talk now, and I'll take these questions which are already come. Is that fine?
Sir, shall I read the questions for you?
Let me see if I'll be able to see. Yeah.
The first question is from Ramya Ramachandran. Sir, how often did you give test in a week, and how did you review the answers that went wrong for prelims and mains?
Yeah. So what I did was, first, you have to study. Number one, you have to study the subject. You have to cover the syllabus. initially, before even going through the syllabus, if you take the question paper, you will get only zero, a big zero. So don't do that actually. First, start reading this. Take out the syllabus and make the syllabus into a synopsis. Basically, every topic, break down. If you look at a huge syllabus, you will get the fear. It's a huge one. Just break it into small modules and say that each of the topic. And in each of the topic, you go and find out what question was asked and when it was asked. What I did was I went up to 1987. I took the examination in 2008, 2007 and 2008, but I went up to 1987. So 1987 to 1993 was entirely a different ballgame. So 1993, 94, and then up to 2000 was a different. And then after 2000, the set of questions are different. But I went to 1987 to see what kind of questions were asked. But then after reading the question, after reading the syllabus, along with standard textbooks, whatever is being present, you have a lot of options now. You identify, don't read 10 textbooks for the same subject. That is not my advice, I would say. You take one or two standard textbooks which cover the syllabus in a proper way and focus it on. People, oh, have you read this author? Have you read this? No, I'm not here to write another book on history. There's so many. Ramachandra Guha has written books on history. There is one Bipin Chandra. He has written on modern India and freedom struggle. There's no need for me to again write a book. So I don't want to read 10 books to get enlightened and illuminated. I'm not going to get enlightened by reading books. I want to clear the examination. My purpose is that I have a very limited time and I have to clear the examination. To answer this question is that first you study, then you go to the question paper and see where the questions are taken and what type of questions are asked. Then if you do this cross analysis of the question with the syllabus, then once you finish the syllabus, then start doing it. So let's say I started this practice, like May was examination during that time. I started this somewhere in March. Then I used to take the question papers for previous years. I generally went with the question papers of UPSC rather than going for the institutes coaching. Like what kind of question paper given by the test coaching IAS academies and all. I focused on the UPSC question papers itself. Then I tried to solve the questions. Initially, out of 120, I may get 40 or 35. So don't get demoralized. I'm getting only 40. I'm not going to clear. That's not the case. In a way that what you do by doing this practice, you tend to know what you are not supposed to do in examination by doing this exercise of practicing the question paper. It will tell you. Suppose you focus. What are things like? There are different areas being questioned. If you don't know that area at all, don't know the question at all, why should you read the question again? Just go to the next question. By doing this exercise, you are saving time and you are able to answer more questions at a later stage. So what happens is that if you focus on a question for which you have zero knowledge, don't ever attempt that question and waste your time. You have partial knowledge, like 50%, I'm sure. Then keep that question for hold. When you come back for the second time or when you finish so attempt those questions for which you are very sure. Yes, A plus B the whole square is what? That A square plus B square plus 2AB. That's fine. This is the question. So A is option. Just go and take it. So this should be your first round when you do so those questions you are very much sure. Attempt it at the initial stage, the first 15 minutes, 20 minutes of your examination. Then that will give you a kind of a positive energy. Yes, I am able to clear so many questions. Then go to those questions which you just put a mark or something that pencil mark, which you can attempt. But yes, you have some knowledge about the subject, but you're not fully like 50%. 50%. You have to attempt because you have to attempt certain questions. You cannot say that I only know 20 questions of the 120. That will not help you to clear the examination. But for which there are questions for which you don't have any clue. Why should you attempt the questions? Luck. We will put C, 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 C. One C would be there in 10. That's not going to be there. There can be only A and B. So don't do that. So if you don't know, better to leave it. But at the same time, you must be knowing that there must be cutoff. For every category of people. There is general category, there is reserve category. You should know that. And I would suggest everybody should prepare, as it that you are a general category person, because you should aim for, whatever is the highest thing. Don't get into that thing. If I get this much cutoff, then I'll be in some, not like that. We aim for the best, actually. That would be my suggestion to all of you. So then what happens? Then you identify that, okay, fine, I'm stuck in this particular point. So this practicing of tests and questions will enable you to understand your weaknesses, where you are lagging. And then it will also aid you to complete the question paper on time. Then you leave it, then give a break, then take the solutions part where you combine, then you correct you evaluate yourself. Then what you do, you go to every question, which is, of course, the right question, fine. Wrong question, what went wrong in the question? Whether your understanding about the question is wrong, or understanding about the choices given is wrong, or you don't know the subject. There can be only 3 reasons. You don't know, but you attempted. So then you analyze it, then you come to a conclusion, yes. So then you go on to the areas or the type of questions where you are struggling. second test, third test, fourth test, fifth test, sixth test, seventh test. I used to write 4 or 5 tests, in public administration every day. Every 2 hours, I write and give a break for 1 hour. Then again, I take a question during before the examination, like 1 month before the examination. I used to continually practice 80 question, 85 question out of 120 I used to get. Then I was sure that no, when I crossed the figure of 80 that time, no, I don't know about the cutoff now, 85, 90 that time. Then I was sure that 30 out of 120 I'm able to cross 85 correct questions. But that came after doing about a number of tests, 50 tests or 60 tests, I don't know, 4 tests per day you can count for a month actually. So I used to continuously practice it. Then what happens is over a period of time, I got myself acclimatized to the environment. Yes, this is going to be the exam. This is going to be the question paper. So this is the practice makes you perfect. No, that's simple. So you repeatedly doing it. You have to do what do you do? You are riding a bicycle. You want to continue riding. What you have to do? You have to maintain the balance, and you have to do it. So you have to continue doing it, but you have to keep trying. That's it. If you take out your leg, you will fall down. Simple as civil service exam is simple like that. You keep cycling. You keep trying, and you maintain the balance and go ahead. So I think I was able to give something about the first question. So a week that 4 times in a day I was doing. How did you review the answers? When went wrong, I went back to the question paper, saw what went wrong, whether my understanding about the question is wrong, or I don't know the subject, or my understanding of the choice is wrong. So either of the things I have to correct. We were made to believe. Second question is by Sadasivam Subrayan. Sadasivam Subrayan, yes, I could see him. We were made to believe only toppers and gold medalists can crack this. See, I have told you, I got 13 arrears in my engineering. Will you believe that I am sitting as RPO and talking to you? It's a fact. You can go to Anna University and collect my records in mining department. They'll say that they were not sure that I'll be able to complete my graduation in the time. 4 years is the time, right? You have to complete the graduation. My professors were not, sure that I'll be able to clear the examination. So every semester I had 2. So you multiply by 8, almost 16. But luckily 6, 7, 8, I didn't have arrears. Why? Because I was clearing the arrears of 1 to 5 in the 6, starting from 7. So I flunked in all the mathematics papers: Max 1, Max 2, Max 3, Max 4, probability statistics. 6th, 7th, 8th semester, luckily mining department was not having any max subject. So I was very happy that I'll be able to clear these semesters. Then what happened? There is a condition that time that you have to clear Max 1 to go to 5th semester. If you don't clear your first semester arrear, you will not be allowed to go to 5th semester. There will be a break in your engineering. So I was forcibly, I went with my juniors, who joined 2 years later and attended the class because my internal marks were less. Every time I used to clear more than 50 is required in your external examination, and internal also 50. Out of 50, I got only 20. So even if I get 55, I flunked because I have to get more than 60 so that the combined of your internal and external crosses 50. So every time I used to fail in mathematics. Then I decided that I have to re-attend the course with my juniors, improve my internal, then only I'll be able to clear it. So don't think, that Sadasivam Subramanian, how many arrears you have, by the way? You can unmute yourself.
He's our faculty, sir.
He's our faculty, sir.
If you ask this question, I'm telling you, see, I'm not a gold medalist guy. So, I'm not a topper. So you can imagine that, I've also somehow, you have seen, what Ramya had read about me. All those things are true only. So I joined the service, I worked with these places. So I mean, if I would have thought that, I have 13 arrears, because 6th, 7th, 8th, 7th and 8th, I was fully focused on clearing my arrears only. Some of my, friends who were attending the interview at that time, that, what you call the campus interview, they were all busy preparing for that. I was busy preparing for my arrears. They said, why you are not coming? See, first of all, they did not allow me to go. All top companies, will ask you how many arrears you had. They'll ask 1 or 2. If you tell them, fine, single digit, okay, fine, they'll consider, if you cleared it. I was also having outstanding arrears. It means that at the time of campus interview, there are about 7 or 8 pending. So I said, first, let me go and clear my backlogs, then I'll come and come for the interview. Luckily, one company, without knowing whatever is the thing, I went for that interview. I'll not name the company. It's a very, very reputed, company in India. So I was called for, for the first round because they combined College of Engineering Guindy, AC Tech, and MIT. The 3 colleges are part of Constituent College of University. So about 800 candidates were there. I was not keen to go. One of my friend, called me. What is that you're going to do? I said, I'm preparing for army. Come on here. I said, just like that, you come. Attend this. They're going to ask for group discussion only. First stage you attend, and if you're not interested, you can go back. Then I went. Group discussion. All the people who were sitting with me were toppers, like 8-pointer, 9-pointer. This thing. I was the only guy. I didn't ask about the CGPS. They gave me a topic to speak. I spoke. Then I came back. Then they announced that they were, because there were so many people for that particular job. So they want to filter us basically, so that they had this group discussion first. So out of 10, only 1 was selected. So 1 in 10. So I was 1 in 10. They called me. Then I thought, what is this nonsense? So they selected me. So okay, they said, since you got selected, why can't you attempt the second round? Second round was only English and some general knowledge and some aptitude questions. Then I attended about 400 were called. Then unfortunately, I cleared the second round also. That your name. Those guys who got really high CGPA, they were not able to clear the second round. They were all so much disappointed that I cleared the second round. See, that's what I know. When your friend fails, you are worried. When your friend secures the topmost mark, you are much more worried. So that was the situation that time. So next day they called me for the interview. So I was just nice that some luck is smiling at me. I was also happy that somebody is going to take me. I mean, good or bad. So I prepared myself. Then I dusted up well. I went for the interview. Then the guy who came here, the person who's official came here. He asked me to show my reports. Then I thought like a cancer patient. He was asking me that show your medical reports. So your mark sheets, grade sheets. These grade sheets are like cancer reports. So then he showed some. So you are having fourth grade cancer. So you are not. You are in critical stage. So we will not be able to save you. So you cannot attend. I didn't. But you should have told me before that. No, before I the first round itself. Then he told the company policy does not allow him to take anybody who is having more than 2 areas. I have 13 areas. How can you take me? So he tell me best wishes for your future. So we shook hands with each other, and then the other guy who got selected, with me, he got the placement actually in that company because he didn't have an earlier. Only two of us got selected, and after two, they told me I was not even allowed to go inside the interview board. So that's fine. Things do happen, like that. So we have to accept it. But that's what I can say. The tables turn, situation turn. Like what you say, the cycle. If life is a cycle, the ups and downs will happen. So then what happened? Then I joined service. Then I was handling energy security, like Lamia was telling. So all the energy related companies, they were organizing a lot of seminars, events, and this thing where policymakers have to take part in that. Stakeholders have to take part. I was in the energy security division. My head of department told me that you are an engineer, mining engineer. So you will represent ministry in all these meetings. So I went to those meetings where all the CEOs, MDs, and all those top people from the company were. So I was representing the ministry there. So and I was talking about what we should do in coal, what we should do in wind energy, what we are. So I was representing my ministry there. So that's what I'm saying. You don't think that civil services are for toppers and gold medalists. It's not. You should have the right aptitude and right approach to the examination. Anybody can clear this examination. You have the right approach towards the preparation. Then please share tips for character development hobbies. See, this is a very question. You should not. I don't know who is Anita. To everyone, tips for character development and hobbies. It's all like inbuilt. I cannot just because that I want to put I play golf. I cannot write I know that I like golf, looking at golf, but I cannot play golf, but I cannot put right golf. So it is something which you like inherently. You cannot come you should have an hobby. I cannot have an hobby of kite flying. I don't know how to fly a kite, so I cannot have an hobby of kite flying. So you have to choose which suits you. Somebody will be good in listening to music, or somebody will be a good singer, somebody could be a good dancer. So I'll tell you this was a question which used to be in circulation when we were preparing for examination. One guy, he had put what you call hobbies. Like since Ramya has asked for hobbies, I'll share this. Anita. So Anita, what the question was, like his hobby was cookery. So he thought that the board will ask him about some recipe. What kind of recipe used to be made to make this particular dish or something like that. So he was thoroughly prepared about that. What. So then when he went to the interview board, the question asked to him, what is the principle of a pressure cooker, which is an engineering question. So he said that I never cook. I know this is tomato rice, this is curd rice, this is this thing, but I don't know how a cooker works. So he was thrown out. Then another guy, he said his hobby is about bird watching. So then he thought, some simple questions will come. Bird watching may be a simple hobby. The question may be easier. He went to the board. Board member asked him the question, what type of birds you see? Are there migratory birds or non-migratory birds or indigenous birds? And which period to which season you see these kind of birds? He simply said, sir, I don't know all these things. I just go upstairs, watch the sky. Birds will be flying. Every evening I used to see that and come back out. So it's not that a hobby means something, you have to have a thorough knowledge about it. There is another guy who had opted for gardening, because see, these are all things which were shared with me by my seniors, when I was, putting my hobby. That because these were questions apparently were asked as people. Gardening was my hobby. So that guy said, gardening, what is that member of what you do in the gardening? Then he said, we have planted a lot of plants. You give me 5 botanical names of the plants which are in your house. He said that, I don't know, madam. So what kind of gardening you do? My mother used to plant the tree. I mean, water the trees. I used to watch that. So that's my hobby. So you can't be having a hobby, just by watching, somebody watering the plants. You have to know the botanical name of the plants. Any type of question can be asked about hobbies. So what I suggest is that you choose something which suits you, which inherently which will match your personality. That could be anything, can be reading, could be an hobby. Reading a book can be. So if you're reading about a particular, don't vaguely write reading about fictional books. Then you choose the author. For example, a particular fictional author you read, and Jeffrey Archer. What kind of books you read about Jeffrey Archer? What? So you have to go in deep. Actually, hobby means it's not something superficially you just put for the sake of. You can have don't you cannot even you can be a person without an hobby also. But I would suggest at least 1 or 2 hobbies one definitely be having, like playing cricket or whatever you think. There's no hard and fast rule. It should be an hobby. Like you should only read a book. That should be an hobby, not like that. For example, in my case, I'll tell you what kind of questions asked on my hobby. I wrote about reading Ramayana and Mahabharata was my hobby. Okay, so what kind of questions you can expect from this? Because that is one serial I've been watching, from my childhood, in all the television channels, in all the versions I have seen. So it's the same, characters who came in both these, the characters are very fixed in Ramayana and Mahabharata. So I thought I'll be able to answer the question. So the board asked me a question about Setu Samudram project, because that particular time there was a conflict going on, and then whether this project is in the interest of the state. The then government was not allowing this project to happen. Then the national government was having a different perspective on this project. There's a bridging canal. So what is your perspective on the Ram Setu? It's a very political question. So what I'm saying is that if you read Ramayana and Mahabharata, don't think that something will be about Ramayana will be asked. And then they asked me what kind of relevance that Ramayana and Mahabharata have, in your day-to-day, what you call administration. As a person's integrity, as a person's honesty, as a person's characters, Ramayana has a lot of relevance. Ram is said to be one of the example. So what kind of principles he followed in life and what are the ethics he was having. So that will help you as a civil servant. Mahabharata is all about administration. What are the things one and able administrators do? So that's what I'm saying. So you have to draw parallels of between what you read, and then you have to present it before the board within the short period of time, what is given to you. So and then that's what I'm saying. So don't put anything vaguely just because for the sake of putting something. Then I'll one more question into passport. Many students take this is from Akin. One more question related to passport. Many students take passport during schooling or college. What is the procedure to change a signature when we renew? I suppose this is available in the website. So you go and see the website, passportindia.gov.in. There is the FAQ session. So you go and see that, I'm not going to address this. This is what I'm doing every day since morning to night. So I'm not going to address this question now. So Akin, I'm sorry for this. So if you want separately send a mail, I'll ask someone to address this question. Okay, then, sir, how did you manage time during civil service preparation? What should students do to crack the first attempt itself? First attempt itself, you should do work. You have to work more hard, very hard. That's it. You have to work very hard. Smart work is required. Dedicated work is required, and then a focused approach is required. So, I wish all of you clear the examination very first attempt. But this is what is required actually. I have told you about the time management and other things and all before. So very sorry for joining the session. Got connection issues. Okay, that's no problem. Why choose IFS only? Why not any other department? See, we have to give preferences, of services when you fill up the mains application form. And in that, I was interested in administrative service, foreign service, and police service. Of course, based on my merit and rank, I was given foreign service. So it's as simple as that. Not that specifically, this thing. So you have to give a preference based on your merit and rank. Your service will be allotted. All services are equally good. Don't have any kind of reservation that I have to go to this service. In all service, you will be given ample opportunity to serve the public. It's as simple as that. It's all about public service. So you are here to serve the public. They are all public servants. You are here to serve the public. So as simple as that. Every service will give ample opportunity. So don't worry about that. Swanand Kasar to everyone. UPSC is the toughest competitive exam. Usually aspirants take too much stress. You are advised to handle them, advice for them to handle the stress. See, that's what I'm saying, it is stressful. I would not say, if I would be lying if I say that it's not a stressful examination. It is stressful. It would be because you have to prepare, so many subjects, even 5 subjects we get arrears. You have to prepare so many different things, so it is difficult. But what I suggest is that, you have a, a healthy, what you call, lifestyle. That's very important. Have a good, sleep. Don't, ensure that, if you read, 21 hours a day or something like that, 22 hours a day, and then you go and sleep on the examination day, what is the use of, studying 21 hours a day? So, you should not feel asleep. So before the day of examination, you have to have a healthy, you should not fall ill. Basically, you should not fall ill, and all those things should not happen. So have a balanced diet, and then a very proper schedule. This is the number of hours you would study in a systematic life, and then you should have rest also. You should have, adequate rest. And then, you want to, have a break or something like that, listen to music, watch movies. I also did, because that time IPL was introduced when I was preparing for the interview and mains exam. So I used to watch IPL before the interview. Whatever movies released, I've seen those movies, because, it's all, part of life. You don't clear the examination, what you're going to do? You're not going to die. You're going to eat and you're going to survive. Life goes on. So you have to be, equally, you should be careful about your health also, because you should not fall ill before the examination, especially before the interview and all. So you have to have a balanced diet. If you want to do any kind of physical activity, such as playing a game or something, that's fine. Half an hour, 1 hour, you can play badminton, or, whatever, or do some exercise, or even walking is a good exercise, which I do actually. Whenever I feel, stress or something, I go for a walk. I put my headphone and then go for a walk. That itself, is a stress buster. But don't go to Facebook and say that, I want to de-stress, so I came to Facebook, and I, go to Instagram, then, and go to Twitter. So these are not, options for you at this point of time, because you tend to waste a lot of time by going to these forums. Of course, definitely they'll be tempting, and, a lot of things, people will be posting updates. You go and comment it, and then somebody else will comment, then you will give a counter. So those, whether Beast is good or KGF 2 is good. So those things are not, debate will happening. So don't waste your time on reading those things. So, so that's what I'm saying. After you clear the examination, then you will have time. What I'm saying is that then you time, you will have definitely time to do this. So don't go to social media now. But of course, you can have a healthy lifestyle by having a proper sleep, and, balanced diet. Actually, that's more important. Then okay, Silambaras Tondala to everyone. Can international students attend UPSC exams, or it's acceptable only Indians? We have to be an Indian national to take this examination, except for people from Bhutan and Nepal. I think they are allowed to take this civil service examination, and that too for Indian Administrative Service and Indian Foreign Service. Only Indian nationals can apply. That's a rule actually. So we have to be an Indian national, to take this examination. That's a fundamental rule. And except for the subjects from Nepal and Bhutan, there are certain conditions given, so you have to see that, in detail. But it should be Indian national. Good evening, sir. As you had great experience in foreign service, can you tell us about the review on Russia-Ukraine situation? So this was the question I was expecting actually. And what do you think about India's decision to be neutral in this situation with respect to China's stand on this situation? See, I'm not the right person to comment on this, because I don't deal with the subject. So I would prefer to skip this question, but I would suggest, you can, go to our website, MEA website. A lot of press releases that MEA has given, and also to our Facebook page. The official spokesperson has given the stand of, our country with regard to the ongoing situation. And also you can follow the tweets of our foreign minister and the foreign secretary, and of course the MEA, the Ministry of External Affairs. You will get a lot of information, authentic information about what is our stand on this. I mean, I don't want to know often give any information. I'm not the authority to speak on this issue. Then let's go to good evening, sir. Okay, fine, fine. Sir, there may be few ups and downs during preparation. Swanan Kasar to everyone. There may be few ups and downs during how you manage those challenges. See, that's why I told you have to ignore what ups and downs mean to what actually. Basically, your friends will be earning, they'll be getting the salary. You will not have money, so you'll have to depend on your parents and your family, and or your friends to support you, because during the preparation time, unless until you are very wealthy from a wealthy family, you have to support yourself. So you have to depend on somebody. That will be in a difficult situation. So that you have to manage. So ultimately, you have to focus on the goal. Your destination is very important. Your destination is to join civil services. See, once you join civil services, or once your name appears in the final list of candidates who are selected for, everything will be different. Life will change in one day for you. So you have to look at the ultimate objective, rather than looking at. Of course, you will have challenges, because you will be spending. Suppose you're not clearing the examination in your first attempt, so you will be ending up you'll be ending up spending 1 year. You will be losing 1 year actually, because the process starts from 1 year and goes to another year. Then you have to attempt again for the examination. So second attempt also you're not able to clear the examination, so you're losing 2 years. So that is a difficult process. But ultimately, one particular point of time, you have to join the services. So you have to continue the, the hard work. There's no substitute for hard work. You have to keep going on. Only thing, what mistake you have done in your first attempt, you should not be repeated in the second attempt. What mistake you do in the second attempt should not be repeated in the third attempt. See, why you are not qualified. One could be, that you are not done the examination well, or the other way is that the other person has performed better than you. There could be only two reasons. So you other person's performance, you cannot do anything. That's not in your hands. But you can improve your performance. You can change your strategy. You can correct your mistakes. So all those things are in your hands. Definitely, you can do that. So you cannot determine how, Simbrashi Tonnala cannot decide what Shagul Azaruddin will do. But but the Shagul Azaruddin can do. Because I'm reading out the names which are in the front of the screen. He can decide what mistakes he's doing. That you can realize that. So that's why I'm saying. So you realize your mistakes, but don't go with what others say. Some people will come and say, why you are wasting your time in preparation? Why can't you go to US, or you can go to Canada, take a visa and go and work there? You will get, so that kind of diversions will come. You have to be clear and firm about your decision. That's what I'm saying. A decision. You're taking a decision for your lifetime. Not that a decision, you will. And I'm sure you will not regret. I can vouch for that. Having being in the service, I'm enjoying my stay in civil services. You'll never regret a decision to join civil services. I tell you, it gives you ample scope in various areas to work for the country, to work for its people. So definitely you will not regret about this thing. So what I'm saying is that lot of things, pull factors will be there. So like I told you, you should be like a deaf, but don't leave the right advices. Of course you should, and don't also ask multiple persons for advice. You go to 10 different people and advise me how to become citizen, you will not be able to follow, because everybody has their own way of approach, own way of doing things. So you cannot follow their style. You have to have your own style and your own approach to get into the examination. There will be stressful times. Suppose you don't clear the prelims, you have to wait for the next year to take the prelims. So what will you do for the 1 year? Don't worry about it. Just take a break for 2 days, go around with friends and come back and start preparing again. That's it. See, it's simple. It's your approach. You can see, water. You can see a glass of water which is empty. It's like, you can see 50% of the glass is filled. You can look at it like, the glass is half empty, or you can say it's half full. How you look at the glass, that makes a difference. So you say that yes, fine, I'm okay. I mean, I'm not clear this time, but I'll do better next time. Of course, family support is very essential, I would say, in this kind of situation. Your parents, your siblings, whomsoever you're living, and you should have a dedicated space. You cannot read, for example, sitting in a common space. You should have a dedicated space earmarked for you, and you should be comfortable to sit in that space and prepare for the examination, because this examination requires focused approach. You can't attend a phone call and take a book and then watch a TV, and that's not possible. And if you are thinking that you will be able to clear the examination, then I will be happy to interview you after you clear the examination. That's I'll be happy to listen to you. That's not the approach you should follow. You have a focused approach. So I think I have answered all the questions. Is there any other thing anybody wants to ask? No, I think I was able to. I'm sorry, for the person who asked about the Ukraine situation, because I'm not the competent person to answer. So, but I've given you the, place where the answers would be available for your question.
Yes, thank you so much. And now we came to the end of the session. My sincere thanks to Mr. Koventhan, IFS. Sir accepted our invite in his very busy schedule. So your address is really very interesting, highly motivating, and encouraging for not only for the civil service aspirants and to every one of us. And I thank you so much, sir. I thank our management, director, CEO, for their constant support for arranging such wonderful events. I thank our beloved principal, Dr. Devasundari ma'am, for her motivation and support for arranging the webinars. I take this opportunity to thank Mr. Arun Shankar Gorki, founder and head of Gorky's IAS Academy, and also faculty of Civil Service Foundation course in KCG College of Technology, for coordinating for this event. I thank all the heads of the department, my dear students, and participants, external participants across the country. Thank you once again to everyone. Have a great day. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.